Good morning, cadets. We have studied parallel plate capacitor with free space. Today we shall study the effect of dielectric on the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor. Parallel plate capacitor filled with a dielectric medium. Okay. So, in the previous session we studied the capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor with free space. Capacitance of the parallel plate capacitor which is charged with plus sigma minus sigma, positive charge density on the upper plate, negative charge density on the lower plate, say plus q minus q. Here we have taken plus q charge and here we have taken minus q charge, and then we calculated what is the capacitance of the capacitor with the free space as epsilon A upon D. This I am representing it as C naught to say that it is with vacuum or free space or air. In that case, the potential difference between the two charged plates, it is now represented as V naught, potential difference between the charged plates with air or vacuum in between. V naught is equal to E naught D, where E naught is the electric field that is developed from positively charged plate to negatively charged plate in the free space. E naught equal to sigma upon epsilon naught, where sigma is the charge density and epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space. And we know what is surface charge density sigma, charge by area, that is charge per unit area, Q by A. So, these are the things that we have discussed earlier. Now, if this space between the plates is completely filled with a dielectric medium, now I am filling it with a dielectric medium like this. Dielectric medium of the same dimension with the distance d is being filled. So, I am shading it to just to show that it is a dielectric medium. Then, what happens to the capacitance of the capacitor? Does it increase or decrease? This is what we are going to see. On inserting a dielectric slab into the space, then the dielectric slab gets polarized. The polarization of the dielectric slab takes place. As a result, upper plate of this dielectric slab will be charged with negative charge density due to polarization, and lower side of this dielectric will be charged with positive charge density due to polarization. Upper plate will be charged with negative charge density. I am drawing it separately. If this is kept in the space between the two charged plates, you see the upper plate will be polarized with minus sigma p and the lower plate will be polarized with same amount of positive charge density plus sigma p, p to represent charge density due to polarization, polarized charge density. As a result, what happens, you can just see here. Earlier, the upper plate, you see, I have taken it as plus charge q. Okay. And similarly, the lower plate, conducting plate, minus charge q. Okay. Minus charge q, that is what I have written, plus charge q minus charge q. Because of polarization, what happens? The upper plate, the upper side of this dielectric, this is the dielectric that is taken, dielectric. As you know, dielectric means the insulator. Then this will develop the opposite charge minus sigma p, and here it will develop plus sigma p. As a result, the electric field developed in the interior of the dielectric opposes the external electric field. Thus, we have studied earlier, the total electric field is reduced. Total electric field will be E naught minus E in. So, the net effect is reduction in the electric field. When there is a reduction in electric field, correspondingly there will be reduction in potential difference. When there is a reduction in potential difference, we know that capacitance is equal to the charge by the potential difference. Charge Q remains the same. The charge Q does not change. The charge Q remains the same. Charge Q divided by the potential difference, the total potential difference due to the insertion of dielectric, total potential difference will be now reduced. When V in the denominator is reduced, as a result, capacitance of the capacitor filled with the insulator, capacitance of the capacitor filled with dielectric enhances, increases. So, by how much time it increases, that is what we are going to see now. So, now this is what I have represented separately for a dielectric, the dielectric. Now, I need to calculate what will be the potential difference. So, for this, what is the net charge? First, we will calculate net charge density. Sigma minus sigma p is going to be the net charge density. So, when a dielectric is inserted to fill the gap, then the total charge density now becomes equal to sigma minus sigma p. Total charge density becomes sigma minus sigma p. Earlier it was only sigma before filling it with the dielectric. After filling it with the dielectric, the net charge density becomes sigma minus sigma p. Now, what happens to the electric field? Electric field can also be written in the same manner. Now, it becomes E equal to sigma minus sigma p upon epsilon naught. Now, you can see the electric field with the insertion of dielectric, total electric field E becomes sigma minus sigma p upon epsilon naught. Without this dielectric, it was E naught. With free space, it is sigma upon epsilon naught. Because of polarization, the net charge density becomes sigma minus sigma p. Therefore, net electric field becomes sigma minus sigma p upon epsilon naught. Now, we can write what is the potential difference. Therefore, potential difference V becomes equal to E into D. Earlier you see it was E naught into D, now it is V, it is not V naught, here it is V. After the insertion of dielectric, now the potential difference is taken as V. Total potential difference V becomes equal to E into D. Just substitute the value of E. Thus, it becomes sigma minus sigma p upon epsilon naught into D. Now, interesting thing is that this total charge density sigma minus sigma p depends on the electric field. More the electric field, more is the polarization, and less is this, more is the polarization, and sigma minus sigma p will be less, right. So, the sigma p, whatever it is there, sigma p is directly proportional to the sigma. Sigma p is directly proportional to sigma. Here, how it is written. Now the polarized charge density sigma p is directly proportional to the initial charge density before inserting the dielectric. Sigma p is directly proportional to sigma. Therefore, now if you take out this proportionality sign, we get a constant, and that constant sigma p can be now written with the help of this relation. So this is the important thing. The charge density due to polarization is directly proportional to the initial charge density before inserting the dielectric, and this initial charge density sigma is again directly proportional to the initial electric field E naught. Therefore, the polarized charge density sigma p is directly proportional to the electric field which was initially set up before inserting the dielectric. So that is the point to be considered. Therefore, the difference in sigma minus sigma p, sigma minus sigma p is again found to be directly proportional to the initial charge density sigma, because sigma minus sigma p is directly depending on E. So in this, sigma is directly depending on E, therefore sigma minus sigma p is directly proportional to sigma. Now if you take out this proportionality sign, we get an important constant. Now we take out this proportionality sign, we get sigma minus sigma p equal to sigma upon a constant k, where k is constant characteristic of that dielectric, where k is dielectric constant. K is called dielectric constant, which is characteristic it is a characteristic value depending on the dielectric that we choose. It is characteristic of dielectric. So in this equation, we are now going to substitute sigma minus sigma p value. Sigma minus sigma p, if you substitute, you will get in the numerator sigma, and in the denominator you are going to get k epsilon naught. That is what I am going to write in the next step. Therefore, you can just write here itself. Therefore, V becomes equal to sigma minus sigma p is sigma upon k. Sigma minus sigma p is sigma upon k, and in the denominator epsilon naught is there, and you see this is multiplied by d. So now this becomes the important equation, right? This equation, this I am going to substitute in the equation of capacitance C equal to Q by V. Therefore, you can see the potential difference that we have obtained, the voltage after the insertion of dielectric. Now it becomes sigma d upon k epsilon naught. Just substitute the value of sigma, that is Q upon A, charge density, Q upon A, sigma replaced by Q upon A, we get Q upon A k epsilon naught as it is into D. Now therefore, we can write capacitance of the capacitor with dielectric. Now becomes C is equal to Q by V. Now Q as it is by V, substitute this value, we get Q upon A k epsilon naught into D. The Q cancels, so A k epsilon naught comes to the numerator. So Q cancels, so you are left with k epsilon naught A upon D, since Q gets cancelled. So this is the capacitance of the capacitor with a dielectric. So, in addition to epsilon naught A upon D, we get a constant K, and this constant K is always greater than 1. Therefore, we get capacitance of the capacitor with the dielectric is equal to K times epsilon naught A upon D. So, we know epsilon naught A upon D. Epsilon naught A upon D is nothing but C naught, where C naught is capacitance of the capacitor without dielectric with free space, where we have written already C naught is equal to epsilon naught A upon D. This is with free space. Therefore, I can write now C is equal to K times C naught. C is equal to K times C naught. This implies the capacitance of the capacitor filled with dielectric gets enhanced by a factor K times C naught. Here K is always greater than 1 for any dielectric. So, here K is also called as relative permittivity, and the product K epsilon naught is also called as permittivity of that medium. So, we will write now what is K. Therefore, with this equation we can define what is K. K is equal to C by C naught. So, dielectric constant K is now defined as ratio of the capacitance of the capacitor with dielectric to the capacitance with free space. Ratio of capacitance with dielectric to the capacitance with the free space. Therefore, K is always greater than 1, therefore, C is always greater than C naught. Thus, by inserting a dielectric into the parallel plates, by inserting a dielectric in the gap of the parallel plate capacitor, potential difference decreases and the capacitance increases. The capacitance enhances by K times C naught. So, this is one way of defining what is the dielectric constant. It is also called as relative permittivity of the medium, relative permittivity of the dielectric. So, you can see here we can replace this K times epsilon naught with another constant, that is just epsilon. This epsilon is now termed as permittivity of the dielectric. Permittivity of the dielectric medium. Therefore, with the help of this permittivity of the dielectric medium, you can see this permittivity of the dielectric medium is always greater than epsilon naught, where epsilon naught is permittivity of the free space. So, here epsilon naught is permittivity of free space. Either air or vacuum or air. So, you can note down here K times epsilon naught is equal to epsilon. Definitely, this permittivity of the dielectric epsilon is greater than epsilon naught. We know its value, epsilon naught 8.854 into 10 to the power of minus 12. So, K will be always greater than 1. Therefore, epsilon will be always greater than the value of epsilon naught. Therefore, when C is equal to K times C naught, definitely capacitance with dielectric medium is of a very high value compared to capacitance with free space. This is how we can define. Now, there is one more way of defining the K value, dielectric constant. So, dielectric constant can also be defined as epsilon by epsilon naught. Dielectric constant is also defined as ratio of permittivity of the medium, ratio of permittivity of the medium to the permittivity of free space, and this ratio is always greater than 1. So, this ratio is always greater than 1. Okay. Now, this ratio, when it is epsilon by epsilon naught, helps us to understand the effect of dielectric on the Coulomb's force between two charges. If a dielectric is inserted between the 2 point charges, what happens to the Coulomb's force? Since this K epsilon naught is in the denominator, the force reduces. So, that is how we can analyze with the help of the dielectric constant of the medium. So, effect of dielectric between the 2 point charges reduces the force of interaction. In the same way, the effect of dielectric about a source charge reduces electric field also. Let us see. Effect of dielectric on Coulomb's interaction, Coulomb's force of interaction. Suppose there are 2 point charges, right? We know the force of interaction between them, Q1, Q2, force of interaction between them. If both the charges are like charges, there will be force of repulsion. With free space, we know force of interaction between the 2 point charges with free space between them is given by F naught equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square, where R is the distance of separation between the 2 charges. Now, if this R is filled with some dielectric, suppose it is filled with some dielectric like glass medium or any oil medium or any other dielectric like wood or paper, then what happens to this Coulomb's force? Coulomb's force now changes. This is F with dielectric medium. With dielectric medium. F with dielectric medium becomes 1 upon 4 pi. This epsilon naught is now multiplied with K times. So, K times epsilon naught. So, it becomes epsilon. It is not naught now. It is just epsilon into Q1 Q2 by R square. Now, epsilon is the permittivity of the medium. So, epsilon is the permittivity of the medium. As a result, if you substitute what is epsilon, you know epsilon is equal to K times epsilon naught. You can just see how the force decreases. So, it becomes 1 upon 4 pi K times epsilon naught, right, Q1 Q2 by R square. So, you can just see, therefore, F becomes equal to, we know already 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon R square as epsilon naught. So, I can just write it as 1 upon K times 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square, which already I know it as F naught. Therefore, F becomes equal to 1 by K times F naught. So, this definitely tells us that on inserting a dielectric medium, or if you take the charges, source of electric field, charges or system of charges or point charges in a dielectric medium, then the force of interaction, Coulomb's force, decreases because now Coulomb's force F becomes F naught by K, F naught by K. Now this also helps us to define what is K. K is therefore equal to F naught by F. So dielectric constant K can be now defined as the force of interaction between the 2 point charges with free space divided by force of interaction between the point charges filled with medium. I think you got the point now. You can define dielectric constant with another ratio, force, right, a ratio of force between the point charges with free space, to the force between the point charges with dielectric medium, with the dielectric medium in between them, with dielectric medium in between them. In the same way, we can also define K as equal to E naught by E, electric field with free space divided by electric field with dielectric. So you can take the ratio of this. When you take the ratio of this, you will get the again same constant, that is dielectric constant. Even you can verify with the result that we obtained from capacitor, parallel plate capacitor with free space and parallel plate capacitor filled with dielectric. If you just check the ratio of electric field with free space divided by electric field with dielectric, that ratio gives us dielectric constant. So remember, this dielectric constant is always greater than 1. Since we have derived this for the case of parallel plate capacitor, this is generalized for all the types of capacitors, whether it is a cylindrical capacitor or spherical capacitor or any other type of capacitor. This insertion of dielectric in between the in the space, insertion of dielectric in between the space of any type of the capacitor, the capacitance of the capacitor enhances by factor K, where K is called the dielectric constant. So in the next session, we will solve some numerical problems, okay, and then we will go ahead. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.